What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bob's Garage. So my initial impressions of the Delk Frost Guard product were pretty positive. So I had a funny story. The intro video that you just saw, as I was walking out to my car to remove it, you know, it worked well. All the ice was stuck to the Frost Guard itself and all that. And so I, you know, being a turbo car and stuff, I wanted to let my car warm up before I took off after work. So I was like, well, let me start up the car. I was going to start up the car first and then remove that Frost Guard. Well, when I started up the car, I must have forgot that I left my wiper blades on. So like when I parked it in the morning, I had the wipers on and I just turned the car off. Well, yeah, so I had the Frost Guard over the window, and then when I started the car, the blades tried to go up underneath the Frost Guard, and they kind of got like stuck underneath it and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's not good. So I got the guard off, the Frost Guard off. That went well. And so I'm driving home, and we had some weird weather that day. So it was, when I went to work, it was raining. It was like 34, 35 degrees and raining. By the time I got to work, it was like 31, 32 degrees, and it was sleeting, snowing, which you saw. And then, again, on the ride home, it got warmer. It was dark out, so, and then it started raining again. So it was just some really weird conditions. Well, I had to use my wiper blades the whole time, and each swipe of the blade, my passenger blade kind of kept getting more and more weak, and like going up only half the window and then going down and up, and finally it just was like stuck, you know, at the bottom of the window. I was like, oh geez, that's not good. So I pulled over and I checked it out. Well, I had the nut that holds the wiper arm on worked itself loose, so it must have happened when the blade got stuck under the Frost Guard. That nut loosened up, and I tried tightening it with some pliers. I didn't have any tools with me, so I tightened it up by hand, and it only made it like 2 swipes, and then it was back down again. So I was like, ah, God, you know, and it was like raining, and there was a lot of spray coming from the cars and stuff. So I basically just removed that nut and the little cap and pulled the whole passenger side wiper arm off and threw it in the car. You know, I didn't want to lose that wiper arm, and then what? Then I'd have to go track down another wiper arm or something, or at least the nut. So I just took it off completely, threw it in the car. I figured I got tools at home, I'll just remount it later. So that was a lesson learned with the Frost Guard. I guess it could have been worse if that nut would have been tighter or whatever. Maybe it wouldn't have worked itself loose and maybe bent the arm of the wiper blade or something. I don't know, but so just make sure you turn your wipers off before you install the Frost Guard. But I like it. Today it's raining again, or I should say it was snowing again, and so we've been having some really weird weather, as most of the country has had. But the weirdest thing is, it gets colder during the day, which typically, you know, it would get colder at night. So it's really weird. I'm guessing the actual temperature is just above freezing, and then during the day when it's windy and the wind's blowing and there's wind chill going into effect, it's dipping below freezing. So but because the temperature's been around like 34, 35 degrees normal, if there's a lot of wind, it gets below freezing. So it's been an interesting, I'd say probably 3, almost 4 weeks with the weather and all that. But so that day that I used the Frost Guard, that was like the first bad weather day that we had. But like I said, because the temperatures went back up on the ride home, I was actually dealing with flooding conditions while driving. So like the roads, all the drains for the road and storm drains and stuff were packed with ice and snow, so they weren't flowing any water. And then all the lanes were just flooded. So it was just nuts. So today is a little bit different conditions. It's snowing and very slick, and I've already seen 3 accidents. Just I'm not even halfway to work yet. So it's gonna be a long drive. But yeah, I just wanted to check in with that Frost Guard. So I like it. It's cool. You just got to remember to turn off your wiper blade. So stay tuned for more. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and see you next time.